Izuku Midoriya. Lion! Please, please help her. Izuku keeps yelling. Tears started to spill from his eyes. He pressed his face on the ground and cried till he has no more tears. They kidnapped her. They kidnapped his lion right in front of his eyes. He couldn't do anything. He was so useless. And because of that, she's gone. Midoriya, what happened? He hears. Suddenly, the ropes around his hands and ankles loosens, and he sits up to face Todoroki. Todoroki, they kidnapped her. They kidnapped Lion. He cries out. What? He asks, his eyes widening. Let's tell it to the teachers. He helps him stand up and accompanies him to their dormitory. While he can't stop crying, they sit in the living room with Aizawa, All Might, Tsukushi, and he tells them everything that had happened, without forgetting details. The whole class is there, listening. He's still shocked and traumatized, but he knows sitting there, in a corner, and cry won't solve anything. He has to give the police every information he has, so they can save Lion. And then they took her away. He finished. It's not your fault, Midoriya. Aizawa says. Yes, it is. I couldn't protect her. He exclaims, starting to cry once again. He dried his tears with his sleeve and looked at Tsukashi. Who are these people? Why did they kidnap my Lion? He asks. I don't think... Tsukashi, All Might calls him. He deserves to know. It's his girlfriend, after all. Okay. The menu described correspond to the description of the leaders of a new criminal association that was born recently. Shuitsuki, Quirk Light Speed, and his brother, Maotsuki, Quirk Racing Touch. He explains. They're related to the League of Villains? Tsuruki asks. Tsukushi shakes his head. They're against them. Well, they're against everybody. Heroes, other villains, students. Their plan is world domination. He says, That's crazy. Dinky comments. But why did they kidnap Lion? He asks. There were rumors they wanted to kidnap one of UA students to show the world they exist and that they're powerful. Why they chose Lion? I don't know. From what I've heard, they wanted to capture a weak one. So... She's not weak, he yells, standing up. We would have won if only that man didn't erase her quack. I don't mean she's weak. I'm sure she's strong. I'm just telling you what I've heard. Tsukushi replies calmly. He calms down a bit and sits down. He couldn't stand the idea of someone saying Lion is weak. She's not weak at all. She'll be a great hero. He knows it. Anyway, they've been often seen near an abandoned industry, so they may keep Lion there. But we're still investigating. He ends. I understand. Please keep me updated. He says, bowing. I will. I know it's hard. But we're doing our best. You should go and try to rest. This was a long night. Tsukashi says, touching him on the shoulder. Then he stands up and leaves with Aizawa and All Might. Midoriya. He stands up and heads into Lion's room. He shuts the door and punches it. He can't do anything. He can't just wait and hope everything goes well. He has to find her. He switches on her laptop. She has a photo of them as her desktop. He gently passes a finger on her face. I'm gonna get you back, Lion. I swear. Wait for me. He says. He starts to search the web. He'll find that abandoned building. Next morning, he wakes up to someone gently shaking his shoulder. He fell asleep in the middle of his research on Ryan's keyboard. He struck his eyes and yawned. "What hour is it?" he asks. "It's midday. We decided to let you sleep after what happened," Uraka says. "What? It's already that late?" he exclaims. "Yeah, why did you stay up all night, anyway?" she asks, peering into the screen. "An abandoned building?" "Deku-kun, you aren't trying to find where the kidnappers brought Ryan, are you?" she asks. "I can't just wait and hope for the best, Uraka. They kidnapped her right in front of me. I must find her," he replies. "Yeah, I understand. You found it?" "I made it," he says, looking at the screen. "This is the perfect place to use as a headquarters and to keep hostages." "You have a plan?" she asks. "Yes, I do." "Then let's say it to the others," she says, dragging him out of the room. They arrived in the living room, where the whole class is gathered. "Midoriya, you awake? How you feeling?" Kirishima asks. "Determined. I may have a plan where Ryan is held, and I have a plan to save her, but I need your help, please," he says, looking at all of them. "Didn't the police say they'll take care of the problem?" Jiro asks. "I don't intend to wait for them to save her," he yells. They all immediately shut up. He takes a deep breath. That's not like him at all. "I'm sorry, I just feel so useless. My girlfriend was kidnapped in front of me, in front of my eyes, and all I could do was stand by and watch. I need to prove her and myself that I'm not useless, that I can make sure that people I care about are safe. But most importantly, I need to have Ryan back. Without her, I'm nothing," he says, clenching his fists with teary eyes. Suddenly, he feels a hand on his shoulder. He turns his head and faces Uraka, smiling at him. "I'll help you, Deku-kun. You're not the only one missing, man. She's my best friend after all," she says. "Uraka, I'm in too," Todoroki adds, standing up. "Well, I guess you need someone who watches over you to make sure you don't get hurt. Count me in," Ida says. "Guys, thank you. Thank you so much," he says, drying his eyes. "What's the plan, Midoriya?" "We'll act tonight. I need everybody who doesn't come to cover for us. And make sure nobody notices we're gone. The four of us will." That night, as they planned, they all sneak out of the dormitory, wearing out-here costumes, and head to the building. With Uraka's help, they're able to silently fly up to the window and peek inside the construction. Ryan's chained to a chair in the middle of the room, surrounded by men playing cards or cleaning guns. She has bruises and cuts on her whole body and looks like she's passed out. He clenched his fist. What the hell did they do to his girlfriend? "Looks like you were right, Midoriya," Ida says. "I was. Make the call," he says. Ida nods and calls the police, making an anonymous call, and saying he saw two suspicious men dragging a young girl inside the building, then hangs up. "They'll be there soon," he lets them know. "We'll be out before then. Okay, guys, you know the plan. Divide," he says. They all nod. Then they take their separate ways. He enters the building from a window and jumps on the head of two men, knocking them off silently and unnoticed. He runs fast around the room, knocking off the man, till someone faster blocks his way. "Oh, look who's here. Didn't I already tie you up yesterday?" the tall slim man says, Shoo. I want YN back, he exclaims. You stupid kid. Coming here all by yourself. You really want to die. Well, I'll make your wish come true, he says, taking out a knife. He starts to run towards him, but he slaps on the ice Todoroki created on the ground and heads against the wall. He looks up and sees Todoroki next to a freeze mall. Next to him, there are Ida and Ureka, with all the other men tied up. Nice timing, he says, smiling. You were right. As soon as that guy saw you, all the eyes were on you. It was easy to knock them off while they were all distracted. Todoroki says, You go to YN, we'll tie the last one up. Ida adds. He nods and runs to his precious girlfriend. He unties her wraps, and she falls on him. YN, love, it's me. You're safe now, he says, holding her tightly, making sure not to hurt her in any way. Deku, she murmurs. It's me, YN, it's me. You're safe. I love you so much, he says, caressing her hair. She starts to cry inside his chest, clinging onto it with all the strength she has, which is surprisingly weak. I love you, she cries out. Thanks. They hear the sirens of the police ringing outside. Midoriya, we have to go, Todoroki says. Hey, I have to go now. But the police is arriving. They'll take you to the hospital. I'll see you there, okay? He says, letting go of her. She nods, then he kisses her softly before running away. He saved her.